Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Marcus Cage. Um, in this video, I know it's got a little bit behind, but I wanted to make sure that I gave a little bit of time with the passing of John Lewis to really go into this, because in order for me to tell the story the right way and to push back in the right way, excuse me, I have to be able to speak open and honestly about the late John Lewis. So I felt that there has been enough time pass. We will just get into that, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm sure by now you guys have all heard the comments which Bill Clinton said. And I don't have them right in front of me, so I'm not going to be, this isn't a direct quote. But the comment in a sense was that, John Lewis, for a minute, it was looking like, the black community was going to go more towards, as he said, Stokely Carmichael at the time, and instead of John Lewis. Now, my good buddy Emmanuel, co-host on multiple multiple platforms. He brought up a good point that I didn't really think about, that when somebody's changed their name, legally changed their name, and you're calling them by the other name, that's an insult. I mean, it's kind of weird that I never really put it together before. Some of my friends who are in the LGBTQ who are in that community, they kind of brought that more to my attention, how names can bother people as much, because I didn't really think much about it. But many of my friends in that community, they have different issues with people wanting to call them by names that they don't feel fit them anymore, or like say it was their birth name and they have legally changed their name, and they're going around calling these people those names, and many people feel that that's very hurtful to them. And so and I think about when Muhammad Ali changed his name to Cassius Clay, he was adamant that he is no longer Cassius Clay, he is Muhammad Ali. And it's the same thing with a Stokely Carmichael. His name, he had switched it to Kwame Ture. And for Bill Clinton to not even call him by his correct name, that was being very disrespectful. I guess the best way for me to say this comment is to just put it out there, President Clinton, what he was trying to say in that moment by saying that, the black community, they almost went towards Stokely Carmichael. I think honestly what he's saying, and John Lewis, his family should have taken this as a slight, in my opinion, should have said, short of symbolic wins, what wins have we gotten actually since John Lewis was in office? We hadn't gotten much. And if Clinton thinks it's a good thing at the lack of progress, and he's praising John Lewis, who got us the lack of progress, and he's insulting Kwame Ture, then what does that tell you about this whole agenda that most of us feel that we're under? Most of us feel, especially people of color, we feel that we live in a white supremacist world that controls everything. And I mean, when you are trapped into that bubble, you have no real power. The only thing you have is your words your words and your opinion to be able to hold that. But for somebody like a Bill Clinton, who had so much racism throughout his presidency and so many negative aspects to the black community, which a lot of people still jokingly call him the first black president. I mean, even after Obama, some people still throw that out there. But what he was saying is, I know better for you. We talked to John. We told him how he needs to behave. And you guys just need to listen to John and figure out how you need to behave also. Probably one of the most, probably one of the most racist things I've heard from a political figure in the last couple of years outside of Trump. But that's the people that we're dealing with, on that other side. John Lewis, I remember, I think when he passed away, he had roughly like 3.5 million in campaign contributions added up. Some of those people, which he was taking business from, were people who were honestly pushing to make it harder on black people. Home Depot, one of them. I worked for Home Depot. They try their hardest to lowball you on a raise, even though they're a multi-billion-dollar company, which is always looking to expand into new markets. Granted, this COVID thing might have it a little bit different, but that was the norm when I was working there, and I worked there for a good number of years. He was receiving money from a bunch of different lawyers and a handful of other companies. And my point is that he would rather us take the approach to be a good little boy, put your head down when you need to, and if it does harm your people, feel bad about it, but don't do anything about it. That said, I think I will wrap this video up. I wanted to close this video out with Kwame Ture, one of his a short clip of one of his speeches, which I felt that you guys should listen to and that hopefully you really, really enjoy. There's one part which he says in there towards the end. I will add a little tidbit at the end of the video, but hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and hopefully you guys enjoy the videos I have coming for you. Thank you.
Understand clearly when we talk about capitalism, who are the capitalists? Because if we understand that there are only a few people who own and control the means of production in the society, then we begin to understand that there are a few capitalists. And these capitalists exploit everybody, because everybody works for them. Everybody sells their labor to them. It is by selling your labor to a capitalist that he's really able to exploit you. Instead of going through theories, let me give some direct example. Let's say that I'm a capitalist. Let's say that I sell shirts. I sell shirts. I have a shirt factory. Let's say this is my factory. I own it. The machinery. I have a place where I get cotton. I own it. I'm the capitalist. Let's say you are my workers. You are my workers. You don't know me. You never see me. You see my lackeys, maybe my foreman, but you never see me. Now, let's say it costs me 50 cents for cotton for every shirt I make. And let's say it costs me 50 cents for upkeep of my machinery. That's $1. And let's suppose I pay you $1 for every shirt you make. That means it costs me $2 to get a shirt. Labor included, your labor. I pay you for making the shirt. Now, when I sell the shirt, being a capitalist, and you must know something about capitalism, very important. The sole motivating force in a capitalist society is profit. Profit. That is the sole motivating force. Profit. Get money. Get it. Get it as fast as you can. Get it any way you can, but get it. Just get it. Just get it. And even in in the African community, it affects us here in this country because Africans, those of us living in America, those of us born in America, we are imbued with the philosophy of capitalism, and sometimes we don't even recognize it. Thus, you find brothers and sisters even selling dope to their brothers and sisters to make money. Again, because we're imbued with the philosophy, get some money. Ain't nothing wrong to kill for money. Hell, your country is napalming for money. You can certainly kill for some money. All right, just get it. Just get it. It's the overall philosophy. When we talk about revolution, we must talk about changing values. We must talk about changing values, and we must understand these values. To the shirt factory. I've not forgotten. I'm just going to tie it in. I'll tie it in for you. I'll tie it in. You will see it. You must look under the shirt factory, too. You must look for spiraling economy. That's very important. Spiraling economy. I sell the shirt for $5. I sell the shirt for $5. I don't do anything. You're the one who make the shirt. I'm exploiting your labor. You toil, you sweat, I get the fruit. That's right, I get it. But you grow it, you plant it by the sweat of your brow. I get it. I sell the shirt for $5. I am exploiting your labor. I really am exploiting your labor. I mean, even when you want a shirt, hey, you gotta come to my store and buy the shirt for $5. Yeah, I really am exploiting you. Now, you're workers, you're in a factory, so you begin to get social consciousness. Yes, you do. Marx talks about this. Because you're working together, you see the socialized process, the laboring process, and you're able to see clearly how you're being exploited. So you get together, and you start talking about, we want more money. So you tell my foreman we want more money. So the foreman comes to see me. He says, the workers say they want more money. Later for them, keep them working. So he comes back, no raise. Y'all work, but y'all get a little bit more agitated, because it's scientific. The pressure rises, and as the pressure rises, the consciousness must rise. It's scientific. It can't be stopped. That's why revolution can't be stopped. Then you say, hey, look here, we're going to strike. So the foreman comes back and says, hey, they said they're going to strike. They all let them strike. And sure enough, y'all strike. Yeah, y'all strike on me. Now, when you strike, of course, my machinery stops. I ain't making no money. So after a while, I called my foreman. I said, what do they want? He says, well, they said they want $1.50 more a shirt. They want 50 cents more a shirt. So I said, okay, let them have it. So I'll bring you back. You happy? I'll pay you $1.50 more. Right, so now it costs me $2.50 to make a shirt. It cost me $2.50 to make a shirt. Before it cost me $2. I was selling it for $5. But hey, look here. I can't go out there and keep selling it for $5. Hey, how am I going to do that? I'm going to lose profit. And look here. Since the sole motivating force in a capitalist system is profit, ain't no need for me to come and sell it for $5.50. Hey, no. Next time you see that shirt on the market, it's going to cost you $7.50. Right, right. And that's what's known as the spiraling economy, because profit is what about wages go up into the demands of the workers and prices rocket. Wages go up, prices rocket. And it keeps going and going and going until it's got to blow the top. It's scientifically real. That's why Nixon is talking about freezing wages and freezing prices. He's stupid. You got to freeze capitalism, Nixon. Freeze capitalism. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. You must understand these concepts, because once you begin to understand them and master them, you will see the inevitability of revolution. Not only the inevitability of revolution, but you will see the inevitability of victory for the struggling masses around the world once you understand the scientific principles of revolution. Once you understand it.
Just like Kwame Ture was trying to warn us about how capitalism seeps into all our communities and will even have us oppressing our own, that's not isolated to just drugs. I challenge you all to take that same logic and apply that to every single person of power within our community, which we normally see. That capitalism can manipulate the celebrities just as well as our black politicians. Thank you. Have a good one.